Alafia, and welcome once again to the online Aoife classroom. My name is David Graham, or Aoife at the Aoife Foundation International. And just again, a brief reminder that the online Aoife classroom was created and developed as a place to give out free information about the Aoife philosophy. It should still be coming to you ad-free and therefore revenue-free on YouTube, so hopefully no interruptions, no distractions. And it's just a place to give out information to those of you that are not initiated, curious, have questions, don't have elders that you can ask, and hopefully provide some insight into this philosophy that'll help guide you on your spiritual journey. And today's discussion is reasons to initiate, which after naming this, I have decided was probably better off being named reasons not to initiate, but neither here nor there, semantic argument. So every year I get many phone calls and or emails that say, Aoife for a question, how much would you charge to initiate me into Aoife or into Orisa? And my answer is always consistent. It's, wow, that's great. I'm really happy that you're interested in initiating. Why do you want to initiate? And almost 100% of the time, the answer is silence on the other end of the phone or silence on the email. And that's because I really don't think most people understand what initiation is, what the purpose of initiation is, and haven't given it the proper amount of thought. Easiest way I can describe this is making a metaphor. One of the other things that I do in my spare time is I practice martial arts. And in martial arts, we talk about attaining your black belt. There's a misconception here in the West that once you have attained your black belt in a martial art, that you are now, quote unquote, a master of that martial art. And that's simply not true. A black belt now gives you permission to begin learning your art. What it basically means is that you are proficient enough in all of the basics and the fundamentals that you can really begin to learn what you're doing in a real world, real life sense. And that's the best analogy I can give you for Aoife or Orisa initiation. The ceremony, the wisdom and guidance of your elders will bestow upon you the permission to really begin learning this philosophy day to day in a real world sense on a real world level. So, if you are initiating because you want to become the high muckety muck of something house, please don't initiate. If you are initiating because you want phenomenal cosmic power and the ability to control forces that you can't see or hear, please don't initiate. If you believe that somehow you will be able to control, manipulate, influence, bend reality to your will, please don't initiate. If you believe that initiation is going to make you a wealthy Aoife priest, please don't initiate. Initiation is for serious students. It's for those that have hopefully learned some of the basics about our tradition. Hopefully they've been working with their ancestors, working with their Ori. When I say working, I mean venerating, making prayers and offerings to, and connecting and understanding those energies. Hopefully they've already been identified as the child of a certain Orisha or force of nature. Hopefully they have taken the time to begin to learn about that force and to maybe even go so far as to make a sacred space for that energy and begin connecting to it at a deeper level. And more than anything, they want to make the commitment to be a serious student. And that will lead me to one more rumor, and that is that somehow a priest of Ifa, which we tend to call Babalao or Ianifa, is somehow better than, more powerful than, more experienced than a Orisha priest, or one who specializes in just their Orisha. This is a notion that was created in the diaspora. It has no basis in Africa and is completely and utterly untrue. Here's the difference. As a child of Oya, I was initially initiated into Oya, and I would receive my Dilogun or my cowrie shells to do my readings through Oya. And as a priest of Oya, I would be expected to specialize in that energy, the energy of sudden change. And that inherently comes with it the energy of the marketplace, the energy of the transition to our ancestors or the Egun, and other facets of Orisha Oya's energy matrix, personality, etc. When people would come for divination, I could absolutely divine for them. I would use my 16 cowrie shells, and those readings would be expressed through a vehicle for Oya, since that's what I am. I've also been initiated into Ifa. As an initiate of Ifa, a Babalao or an Ianifa, you're expected to be the general practitioner. The reason that that title has been bestowed upon us is we are supposed to know a good amount about all of the Orisha. We are supposed to understand how to divine in the most meticulous and refined way. We are, for lack of a better term, the brain surgeons of divination. It's a very fine-tuned divinatory system. It is more complex, in my opinion, than some of the other ones in Ifa. But more importantly, we're supposed to understand what each one of the 256 Odu mean. We are supposed to understand the inherent Orisha energy that they carry with them. We are supposed to be able to do things like divine for someone and tell them the Orisha that crowns their head. But more importantly, if that person wants to go into their Orisha tradition, a Babalao is supposed to understand how to make that happen. Doesn't mean we have to be the best at everything. The analogy I like to make is if a woman comes to me for fertility services, and I confirm that through Ifa or through divination, then I have someone at the foundation that I work with who is a woman who understands all about women's fertility issues, and I will send that client to the fertility specialist because I'm a man and not a woman, and I don't understand women's fertility the way that she does. But what we are expected to do is be a walking corpus of wisdom and knowledge of the entire tradition and know how to work within it and either solve problems or send that person to have their problem solved. So if you want to initiate into Ifa or you want to initiate into your Orisha, let's talk about reasons to do it. One, you're a serious student of this tradition. Two, you want to dedicate your life and your free time to the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of wisdom, most importantly, the pursuit of understanding why we do the things that we do. If you follow this channel, you've heard me say a million times, if it's not logical, it's not true. You may see a ceremony being performed and not understand what's happening. That doesn't mean there is not a reason behind all of it. And if you don't know the reason, by the way, you shouldn't do it. You should write it down and ask one of your elders to explain it to you. But the initiate is the serious student who wants to learn the why behind the ceremonies. They want to learn the stake behind the sizzle, so to speak. And they have the time, the commitment, and the energy to dedicate to doing that. When you initiate, you will, well, you should. I can't say you will because I get people coming all the time who have received ceremonies and no training. The lion's share of the money that you spend during initiation is to pay your mentor to follow up with you and to give you the training to understand how to do it, why to do it, and what to do. That's what Ifa initiation is all about. You will not overnight receive phenomenal cosmic power. You will not overnight become the high chief of such and such. You sure as hell won't overnight become rich. There are a couple exceptions to this. There is occasion when you'll divine for someone and a Rumula or Ifa will call for them to be initiated specifically. Those Odu are few and far between, and for a trained Ifa priest, it's very clear. And there are occasions when you'll read for someone who is in dire straits, either health, safety, and again, Ifa will say in order to change this person's situation, they need to be initiated. Final reason to initiate, probably the best of all, is that you want your life and the lives of those around you to get better, to get better consistently, to get better long term. And what you'll find is by being an Aoife priest or an Orisa priest, it forces you to do the work. You will be doing work for yourself and your loved ones weekly, if not daily. You will eventually work with or for clients and help them make their life better. Inevitably, you will learn in that process and your life will get better. And then hopefully, if you do the work, love the work, do it with the right intent, the right training, and the right mentors, you'll be able to do what I am doing and pass that on to your children, who will hopefully also do the work. You know, even if they're not a full-time Aoife priest, they will have the training, and then at the times in their life when they genuinely need it, the wisdom of the ancestors will be there for them. So, just a little thinking material. Like I said, I get an awful lot of requests for how much do you charge to initiate? How long would it take to initiate me? Very rarely do I get, I have studied this philosophy, I understand this, this, and this. I want to make a lifelong commitment to doing this. I want training, I want material, and then I want to, once I get the fundamentals, begin understanding this and incorporating this at my own level, but I want someone to guide me through the process. That's what Aoife initiation is, and that is what it is supposed to be about. Hopefully this has answered some questions that some of you may have. One last thing I often get, how do I contact you? The email will be at the end of this video, aoife4a@aoifefoundation.com, or .org, I'm sorry. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.